I bolted down the apartment stairs, one shoelace flapping like a rogue flag, my laptop bag thumping against my hip like it had a personal vendetta. I was already running late coffee splattered on my shirt, a critical investor Zoom call looming in 35 minutes when I hit the parking lot and stopped dead. There, in spot 17, saw my soft spot, the one I'd shelled out an extra $80 a month for, sat a gleaming black SUV, polished to an arrogant shine. It was decked out with cheetah print seat covers, a license plate screaming "Blessed too," and a pineapple-shaped air freshener dangling from the mirror. This wasn't just a car. It was a middle finger to my morning. My jaw dropped. I stared, half hoping it was a sleep-deprived hallucination. Nope. Solid as a rock, that SUV squatted in my territory like it owned the lease. I was a mess overslept, Wi-Fi on the fritz, and now this? This was my VY Lane origin story. I whipped out my phone, dialed the building manager, and got voicemail. Texted. Nothing. Checked the online guest parking log. Zilch. I circled the SUV like a shark, hunting for a note, a scribbled sorry on a napkin. Nothing. Inside, I spotted a yoga mat, a reusable coffee tumbler, and a book titled Saw Live Your Truth Saw. The irony was thicker than my spilled latte. The lot was a ghost town, typical for a Monday when everyone's dragging through their coffee. But I was in full war mode, facing an enemy that had colonized my spot. With no time to fight, I parked 3 blocks away, sprinted back, and joined my Zoom call 4 minutes late, hair plastered to my forehead, Wi-Fi dropping every time I share my screen. My boss's "we'll talk later" was corporate code for your toast. By the time the call ended, my shirt was a sweat-soaked disaster. I slammed my laptop shut, muttering curses that could have made the neighbor's dog blush. I was leave-wide at the SUV's owner, at the HOA's useless system that couldn't tow an illegal parker without a notarized novel. By evening, the SUV hadn't moved, sitting there like a showroom diva. I camped out in the lobby, eyes glued to spot 17, waiting to catch the culprit. Nada at 10 p.m. zilch at midnight. Tuesday, same deal. Wednesday, still there. This wasn't just annoying, it was a psychological siege. I left polite notes. Please move. This is reserved. By morning, they'd vanished like a magician's trick. On Wednesday, I noticed a smudge where my latest sticky note had been. This driver was either clueless or straight up EVYL. Then Thursday hit. I was staggering back from the grocery store, bags slicing into my hands, keys in my teeth when I saw her. Long auburn ponytail swinging, designer leggings that cost more than my rent, a Bluetooth headset glued to her ear like she was closing million-dollar deals. She waved to someone down the drive and strutted to the SUV. My blood froze. A bag slipped, eggs teetering on the edge of doom. I jogged up, panting. "Excuse me, is this your car?" She spun with the grace of a reality TV star. "Oh, yes, sorry. Meant to move it," she said like she'd left a sock on the floor, not hijack my spot for days. I kept my voice steady, though I was one spar from exploding. "This is my reserved spot. I've left notes, contacted the HOA." Her eyes scanned me like I saw was the problem. I thought it was open. "It's so close to the building, you know." "It's labeled 17, I said, pulse hammering. "My name's on the lease." She smirked. "It's just a parking spot, right?" Then she slung her bag over her shoulder and sauntered off like she'd just won an Oscar. That night, sleep was a pipe dream. I lay awake, fantasizing about towing her car with a crane or stuffing her tailpipe with glitter. I even considered painting my spot neon green with a giant mine in the middle. But Friday morning, the SUV was still there, mocking me. I called the HOA again. They needed photographic proof. What, install a wildlife cam? I started snapping time-stamped photos from my window. I named her Lauren now. She'd earned a VY Lane's title. Saturday, I caught her doing yoga poses by the SUV in my spot. I nearly choked on my coffee. Imortstolver. Sprained ankle. "Huh? That why you need my spot?" I asked, eyeing her flawless downward dog. She claimed a sudden injury required the closed spot. "Before or after your yoga?" I shot back. She waved me off with a fake limp and vanished. I was trapped in a sitcom from hell. But Saturday evening changed everything. Passing her SUV, I noticed the passenger window cracked open. And there, on the seat, was a spare key glinting like a forbidden jewel. My brain lit up. Vandalism? Not my style. But inspiration hit like a lightning bolt. I'm a mechanical engineer. My workshop could build a rocket. As dusk fell, my mind raced. Lauren wanted to play dirty? I'd rewrite the game. Sunday, I stood in my garage, coffee burnt to a crisp, staring at chains, clamps, and a whiteboard that looked like a conspiracy theorist's dream. This wasn't about destruction, it was about justice. Reclaiming Spot 17, teaching Lauren that other people's property isn't her playground. I needed something bold, legal, and unforgettable. Over 2 days, my garage became a mad scientist's lair. I built a modular chain grid to encase a car motion sensors, industrial winch, magnetic lock tied to my phone's key fob. Reversible, documented, and tested on my own car. 15 minutes to lock, 5 to release. Perfect. Sunday night, with my buddy Malik, we struck at 2 a.m. The complex was dead silent. Malik held the flashlight, scanning for patrols, while I unrolled the chains. We moved like a NASCAR pit crew, looping tires, securing doors, avoiding scratches. The magnetic locks clicked into place. I topped it with a neon yellow netting bow and a tag. For those who take what's not theirs. 17 minutes. Done. We high-fived and ghosted. Monday morning was pure chaos. At 6:45, I watched from my window. At 7:15, Lauren stormed out, coffee mug in hand, ponytail bouncing. She froze, nearly dropping her drink, arms flailing. "What the hell saw is this?" she shrieked, tugging at the chains. They held. She paced, snapped photos, and called someone, her voice screaming vandalism. I sipped my coffee, savoring the madness. By 8 o'clock, the HOA president arrived, clipboard in hand, looking like he'd rather be at the dentist. Lauren unleashed a tirade, gesturing like a soap opera star. He knocked on my door. I answered, calm as a monk. "Did you chain a car?" he asked. I nodded, showing my photos, notes, and ignored HOA emails. I wanted her attention. No damage done. Lauren stormed up, fuming. "This is insane. You can't trap my car. You can't steal my spot." I shot back. "It's $80 a month. You ignored me." She demanded the police. They came, inspected, and chuckled. "Securest parking job I've seen," one said. "No crime, just a CIVYL dispute." I offered to unlock if she signed an agreement never to park there again. She refused, storming off. I relocked the chains. The story spread like wildfire. Neighbors sent laughing emojis. Someone left a coffee gift card on my door. A retiree gave me a nod of respect. Lauren wasn't just hearing, it was saw it. A week later, her SUV was gone. No ponytail, no cheetah print seats. I thought she'd retreated or was plotting revenge. My mornings normalized. Spot 17 was mine again. But Friday night, an HOA letter slid under my door, stamped urgent. They'd fine me for unauthorized mechanical systems on communal property. Lauren's name was on the voter list. I called the HOA. Denise, the dramatic secretary, said the decision was final. I asked how Lauren could vote on her own case. Silence. This wasn't about chainsit, it was a power play. Lauren had spun her loss into a vendetta. I went full detective. Over 2 days, I compiled the dossier, bylaws, parking rules, ignored emails, community maps, even Lauren's history of violations like an unpermitted rooftop party. A neighbor, Frank, revealed she'd bullied her way through another complex until they ousted her. I had a pattern. I drafted a letter demanding a public hearing, attaching Frank's account and certified records. I sent it via email, mail, and HOA Dropbox. The hearing was set for Thursday in the community room. Residents packed in, airing grievances, Lauren's fines for sidewalk chalk, fake disability claims. I presented my case like a lawyer, stacking EVY Denke. Frank backed me. A board member admitted they hadn't seen all the documents before voting. Lauren faltered, calling it an overreaction. The board delayed the vote, but the tide had turned. Friday's email rescinded my fine, affirming Spot 17 as mine. No apologies, but a win. Neighbors threw an impromptu pizza party. A kid called me parking ninja. Lauren cornered me Sunday, handing me an envelope. "For your records," she said, walking away. Inside, a letter admitted her fault and promised not to park there again. Cold, but signed. Days later, she resigned from the HOA at a meeting sparked by my case. New policies rolled out faster disputes, term limits. Spot 17 stayed untouched. I added a camera and a sign. Reserved. Respect required. Neighbors chuckled. The chain trap saga became legend not for aggression, but for saying no to a tyrant. Helping a new neighbor move in, I grinned when she nodded at my sign. Spot 17 wasn't just my night, it was for everyone who'd ever been ignored. And if it took steel chains to prove it, so be it. So what do you think? Was I a hero for standing my ground, or a petty mastermind who went too far? Should Lauren have been banned from the HOA entirely, or was her resignation enough? Could you have resisted the urge to chain her car, or would you have done something even wilder? Drop your thoughts below. Hit that like button if you're Team Parking Ninja, and subscribe for more stories where everyday folks fight back.